What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unmastered. This is episode 10. How far will you go? We got Bobby Schmurda and Nick Masters in the house. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good.
How's y'all's week today? Or this week so far? It's Wednesday today.
So far, so good. Just trying to get through the end of this week. Enjoy this weekend. I'm off all this weekend, so I'm ready for this week to be over with.
Labor Day.
Yes. Super excited.
Shit, man. It's exciting, man. Just gonna be grinding, though. Getting back to this paper, you know.
Yep. Got to.
Hell yeah. Shit, like what's... Like, just to get right into it, right? Like, with the topic, what do you guys envision for yourselves in the near term? And I'll ask you about your long term, visions and what you envision yourself doing or at, or like where you want to be with yourself. So what are some of y'all's goals for this year? Like, what are the things that you want to accomplish in the near term?
Well, I think definitely for me, it's like just seeing, like I know we were talking about it earlier, it's just like flipping that next page to that next chapter and just seeing how much we've evolved, you know, over this past year. You know, obviously I've told you how things have been as of late, but, you know, just trying to keep growing as much as possible. But I know it sounds cheesy, but I mean, honestly, it can't get more genuine than that. Like, it's just keep growing, you know, just keep getting healthier. You know, definitely I think honestly this is the best health I've ever been. I'm as strong as I ever felt, you know, just genuinely just getting better in the gym, you know, just seeing what, you know, how far I've come, you know, and obviously like, you know, just want to see a lot of doors being opened, you know, so take it with a grain of salt, you know, it sounds crazy, but this is really the reality of things, you know. Obviously, like we were also talking about earlier, it's like, is how, you know, God's really just going to let you, you know, he's only going to give you what you can handle. And right now it's like the perfect example, you know, especially with a lot of, you know, pages being turned, you know, but just, I think having my circle around me right now, that's just the best part. You know, I can't honestly put a price on the people I'm around, you know, just seeing, you know, how genuine they are and, you know, the amount of love that I've had, you know, I can't, you know, I'm just extremely blessed for that. I'm honestly like happy that's all been given, you know, and I'm happy, you know, I'm happy to see everybody around me, you know, get better as well, you know, because, you know, the sum of my circle is, you know, example of me. So that's definitely, you know, something I've been proud about. And obviously, you know, like I said, this is something we've also, you know, been excited to start, you know, so, you know, it's also cool to have you guys around. So
That was good. That's a good answer.
What about you, bro? What is something that you envision yourself for the near term?
So, a lot of people do know that I'm still in school right now. I'm currently working to get my bachelor's degree. So, my major is psychology, and the goal is to be a guidance counselor. I want to help the youth, the students, because I feel like they're not getting that help or that guidance from people, sometimes not even their parents. So I feel like I can help those kids, support them, just help them with whatever they need. And I'm good with kids. Kids like me, I like kids, so I feel like it would all work out. But that's the near term. Long term, I still want to continue doing that. And like with Bobby, just want to see what doors are going to open for me and just go from there and just live my life and do, you know, whatever I'm destined to do. So.
Hell yeah. That's a really noble cause, too, because, like, wanting to help the future generation is a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are the people that are going to take on this world whenever we're gone, you know?
Right.
That's just crazy. Like, speaking of, like, it's super crazy, like, seeing everything that the world is going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Bobby were actually having this conversation on the way over here, and it kind of fits to what we're talking about right now. It's like, sometimes you're like, damn, do I even want to have like bring my own children into this world? You know,
Right.
like children of my own.
Right.
Because sometimes it feels like it's so like fucked, like things are just so messed up around us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very noble of you. That's fucking awesome. Because kids are gonna come around regardless, you know. So like
Right.
somebody has to help them, like you said. And even a lot of the times, even if it's like a good parent, they still need that extra guidance from someone who's
Right.
been able to make it for themselves, opposed to like, because a lot of the times, most kids come from families where like the parents are like, you know, they just got stuck with kids.
Right.
You know, they had that one kid and then they had another and boom, boom, boom.
They
But
just need to hear that guidance from somebody else, I feel like.
facts.
It doesn't hurt to hear another person's opinion or whatever. So, and I learned that too. So, just listen. That's the main thing. Just listen. Just listen. That's it. So,
That's definitely facts though, because you know, especially with like young kids, you know, you see how much they're evolving and like what they see, you know, when they're young, they're gonna carry that with them
exactly.
the rest of their lives. So it's like, man, if you know, you could just be that example. That's, you know, it means something. Obviously, it doesn't seem like something now, but I mean, obviously, in our eyes,
Right.
we see that a lot differently. You know, obviously, like
Mhm.
growing up, we've all, you know, grown up, you know, different, you know, stories, but at the same time, like we've matured. You know, we understand what it's like. We've taken from also that we've adapted into this generation, like especially with like the internet. You know, like
Mhm.
you know how much like that's revolutionized everything. So
Yes.
I mean, especially with our folks and now how we see it, and eventually, let's just say, you know, children, you know, but just the amount of time of stuff that we've seen, it's crazy. I think this generation has honestly been one of the biggest in, you know, forever, because it's just we've seen the start of like the internet and how everything's changed, and like now how to make money back then and now how to make money now. It's just it's changed the game. So,
Yeah.
Facts.
I
so it's
agree.
important. It's important to honestly, like, with at least the young cats, is like tell them and what they need to do, you know, and how much shit's changed. It's just wild.
I agree.
For real. It's a new world. And like it's so crazy, like even like seeing my nephew, he's like a year and a half old, and like he grabs a phone and he knows exactly, like, and most kids know that nowadays.
Right.
It's so crazy. Like whenever, like, I think, yeah, you're right. I think we're like I think we were like probably the very last generation that, at least for myself, like, just growing up without tech or like without a phone, and then like your first phone is like a flip phone or like a Nokia or something. But now it's like kids have access to an iPad when they're like 2 years old.
Seriously, that's crazy. And know how to work it like it's nothing.
For real.
It's crazy.
Like 1 of every 3 kids is an iPad kid. Like that's so crazy.
That's a factual statistic. Certified.
And 1 of every 5 is 1 of every 5. Nah, I'm playing. I'm just playing. Could be 1 of every 5. I don't know.
Hell yeah. Shit, like, I guess from where we're at right now, you know, it's good to hear both of you guys, like, have a plan for yourself. Because even, not that I'm, like, much further from y'all, but, like, in my own experience, I feel that I never really had a full, like, I knew where I was trying to go, or, like, I know where I'm trying to go, but I never had, like, an exact path of, like, this is what I'm going to do, then this is what I'm going to do, then this is what I'm going to do, then this is what I'm going to do. You know, it comes to an extent where you can do that for yourself for, like, certain moves and shit, but more often than not, it kind of, like y'all said, it's, like, you know, like, your overall direction, and then everything else is about, like both of you guys said, waiting for those doors to open.
Right.
Just little by little, and just patience and shit.
Patience, especially.
Patience is something hard to keep a grasp on, especially like that y'all mentioned the technology generation. Like, we're so, even us, like, we're so like our attention span has been just fucked so much because now we have like YouTube Shorts, I never had TikTok, but I got into YouTube Shorts. It's basically
It's
TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
It's to the point where, like, if my Face ID does not work within that time span, I'm getting mad. I'm like, man, this...
Like, why?
Oh my god.
That's hilarious. But yeah. No, so it's like, it's crazy. I've even gotten to the point where, like, I took a few weeks off from, like, socials, and then now that I, like, got back on using them and stuff, like Instagram, I put, like, a timer. Because, you know, like, bro, like, there's so much that you just, like, you'll open up Instagram, and then you'll close it, and then you're back on there in, like, 5 minutes. And that's, like, everybody goes through that shit, and it's so weird. And I find myself just thinking of, like, unnecessary shit. Like, unnecessary social media shit. Like, oh, I should, you know, make a post or, like, post on my story or something.
Right.
And it's not that big of a deal, but...
Still.
Yeah, it's like you're worried about... Like, at least for myself, I'm still, like, I view my shit probably more than anybody else views my shit. But, like, even then, I'm like, damn, like, you know...
But you use yours for certain reasons, like for your brand and things like that. And me with my YouTube and things like that. So, I mean, I get it. Yeah. But other people just post just because I feel like just to get attention.
Facts.
There's a lot of moments, especially, too, is that, like, I feel like now is like we live in, like, a world where, like, people do not enjoy the moment as much, you know? So, like, you know, they probably spent, you know, X amount of dollars to go to one concert or one vacation or just to be in one certain setting. And for you to just capture that all with your iPhone, it's like, bro, you lost on that, you know? Facts. And obviously, I'm not gonna, you know, be hypocritical. I've done that same shit, but at the same time, like, there's times where, like, you just need to enjoy that because, you know, that could be the final, you know, whatever at that point, you know? You may not ever go.
Because that was me when I went to Hawaii. Like, yeah, I took the pictures and the videos, but I wasn't even on my phone as much. I'm enjoying the atmosphere. Like, it was beautiful out there.
Sometimes that, like, also, too, like, that setting takes you away from everything, too. Because, like, there's a lot of things that you enjoy when you're somewhere, especially more, like, on vacation, you know? Like, you enjoy it way more because, you know, it's just something, especially this is places you've been wanting to go to forever.
Right.
Like Cancun, nah, not really. No, been there a few times, but nah. I mean, obviously, like, you know, just enjoying that moment is really beautiful.
Right.
Hell yeah. Damn, it's actually been a minute since I've been on vacation. I think the last vacation that I took was I had gone to Colorado with some homies. We did like a road trip. That shit was like such a long drive, but it was the most incredible experience, I think. Even looking back, like every moment, like, cause I've gone to Seattle. That's one place that I've like traveled to also. Just those two places, and then other places for work. But whenever I went to Colorado and I saw the Rocky Mountains, that shit was like the greatest experience of my life. I was like, damn.
I bet it was.
Oh, these big ass mountains.
It's just crazy how the world is in different places. Just like, wow, like, look at this. Like, it's crazy.
Hell yeah. So, the whole theme, right, like, is really like our journey through life, and that's like all tailored, at least for us three, right? Music is a huge necessity. Sound is a necessity for the journey, right? At least for me, it has been. How do you guys feel about it? How has music and sound in general affected your upbringing, your life, and just like your own development?
I think for me, it's like, you know, music's my piece. You know, like I carry my JBL speaker everywhere I go. But honestly, it's just, that's something that, like, energizes me. I know people always feel like that. Like, how do you have so much energy? And it's like, man, I just find my zone, feel what I'm feeling. And then if I'm feeling, you know, listen to some reggaeton one day, some rap one day, some country one day, it's like I can feel comfortable because, you know, I'm at my peace, and, like, I don't need anybody telling me what I need to, like, hey, shut that shit off. Or, you know, I just relax, be in my zone, and it just, I mean, music's honestly, it sounds crazy, but it's like that. I mean, it really brings me, like, I love listening to music whenever, you know, I probably buy that shit everywhere I go. But I mean, obviously, like, you know, sometimes, like, you know, you'll listen to some music and you'll be like, oh, you can relate to certain shit, you know. Obviously, I can't relate to, you know, and being in the club, you know,
Right.
jewelry and all that little baby shit. But at the same time, like, I be in my zone, man. I just be chilling. Honestly, you know, it's just something I like finding my, you know, my peace. Like you were saying, like your upbringing and shit. So that's what's up.
Music is definitely therapeutic.
Yeah.
Definitely therapeutic. Like, I listen to music every day before work, when I wake up, after work. Like, I need music to keep me at peace, calm, all of that.
Especially like working out. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I cannot listen to me. I can't even work out. Like, if I don't have my headphones, my shit's dead. Like, I'm not working out.
Yeah.
I would just refuse because it's shit that keeps you going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I need to hear Lose Yourself, but I mean, I have to hear that like when I'm hitting a PR, bro.
That's hilarious.
But also too, like, I mean, I think also too, like, to mention, like, we grew up in a generation, you know, we had some goats, you know, like growing up, you know, and we've seen, you know, like Drake, Kanye, like Jay, not really Jay, but J. Cole, you know, Kendrick, you know, we've seen, you know, legends, you know, like grow over the years as well. So like, that's just something too, like, we just appreciate so much,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, I don't know why I didn't mention it. That's obviously the GOAT. That's actually how I started listening to rap. So YMCMB. But yeah.
It was so good back then.
You think music hits the same? It's hard because also too, like, I feel like we've seen everything too.
Right.
Like, I don't necessarily think, you know, not to say that we don't appreciate it as much, but we've seen, you know, probably the peaks of a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I would say, like, at least for me, I think, like, rap has tired me out. Rap and hip hop for sure. Like, cause like I'll listen to like house music, and house music is just like a bunch of like beats and shit or whatever.
Fire.
But yeah, house, you know, whatever, jazz, R&B, all that good stuff. You know, cause it's different. But like, I even saw this thing recently that even major labels are like straying away from signing actual like rappers and shit now.
Oh wow.
Just because like the decline in music, that's also one thing. Like, hip hop had been like number one for like 30 years, bro, like crazy shit. And I think this past year was like the first year that it had like a decline, and then it wasn't anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, so it's like crazy just hearing about all that stuff, but that makes sense because like what's like the last super influential fucking album that actually lasted, you know, that was like stood its time. And it's like, at least for me, when I look back, there might be other albums, but the first one I'm thinking about is like Astroworld. That's like the last one that I was like, that I can remember off the top of my head. That album is like important to time or whatever, you know?
2018, right?
Yeah. 2018, 2017 era. It was an era of good music, and like, even, I would say even like the past few years, like even like getting Donda and shit from Kanye last year, and like apparently there was a Donda 2. I didn't even know there was a Donda 2. I was like, what the hell?
What was that shit released on? I forgot.
So apparently it was leaked on SoundCloud. I heard a couple of songs. It was alright, but I think Donda 1 was better in my opinion.
It was on the little what was that? The little device.
That
called?
little device thing.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't
The
remember.
Stem?
Was it the Stem?
Yeah.
Something like that,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
it
was
is.
it the Stem?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think like college college dropout and graduation. I feel like a lot of those albums get like compared to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even like
yeah.
like even Utopia, like I feel like a lot of people were comparing it to like Kanye's albums, like
to Yeezus.
To Yeezus, that's what it was. My bad.
But like that, the thing with like even like normies and shit, like people that aren't like super into the music, like they don't know that like Travis actually like he produced and helped like
Right.
on a lot of the development of like Yeezus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not that he like a lot of people. I saw a lot of people saying that whenever the album came out, and even myself, I drew the comparisons of like, yeah, this kind of does sound like a Yeezus, but it's like its own thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, I was a fan of Yeezus. Like whenever that came out in 2013, bro, I was like,
Facts.
in middle school, I was banging that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy album, bro. Like fucking Send It Up and
Blood on the Leaves.
bruh, that whole album is crazy. It's a good album. Short and sweet, and you know, it's like crazy sounds, like very experimental and shit. But
Very.
that's something that I loved about like hearing Utopia. But it's crazy how we were just talking about this shit. I feel, at least for me personally, because like whenever I listen to a new album, I'll like go through and listen to it as much as I possibly can, and then I kind of like live with it, and then I see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a point now where I'm like living with that album, but I don't really go back to it that much. And if I do, it's like a few tracks here and there, you know? But I don't think it's just Utopia. Like, it goes back to what we originally said about how music is just declining. It doesn't really feel the same anymore. Mm-hmm. It feels like we've heard everything, you know? Like, even that album, it had a lot of really cool synths and sounds, but everything feels like we've already kind of heard it.
It doesn't last as long as we think.
That replay value isn't the same.
Right.
Like, I can go back and probably listen to Nothing Was the Same, like, on repeat. But, I mean, like I said, I don't know. As of late, it's just, like, a lot of random shit, you know? I mean, it's cool to hear different shit. Like, I love Honestly Nevermind. Like, that was, like, really good.
Great album.
That was like, there's a lot of, like, slept on, you know, albums that people haven't gotten to.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just because, like, they just, you know, different tastes, you know? But, no, I honestly appreciated Honestly Nevermind a lot. Her Loss was good, but I'm looking for all the dogs. Drake's new album, that shit look fire. Especially with the cover, with the Donnas.
Yes.
The Donnas drew that. Man, that shit's fire.
That looked kind of evil. I was like, damn, this is going to be fire. It's going to be fire, bro.
It's going to be like Scary Hours, but like in a whole album.
Right.
So, we haven't, and also too, like another thing how like I'm thinking about it is that with Adonis having something to do with the cover, like, you know, Drake's about to deliver with that shit.
He about to snap.
For real.
Because I think honestly, like, I mean, I feel like him and Adonis, like, if he's putting that, you know, kind of pressure on that, like, man,
he ain't gonna put no bullshit out there, you know.
You think so? You think Kanye and him still beefing?
He doesn't care.
Because Kim was at the concert, and I'm like, bro, that's.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was.
That's just crazy, bro.
And then he put her on Search and Rescue. Little.
Yeah.
That dude's crazy.
I think that's just like such a toxic, like all those, especially that relationship is just so toxic. But you can also be like, man, Kanye.
Kim should have never left Kanye though. I'm gonna say that for the record.
Yeah.
He loved that woman.
He really did.
That's not fair. I know he's crazy, and I know he said a lot of out-of-pocket things, but he loved her, and that's bottom line.
I think after that's where he just went kind of cuckoo. Yeah. So. And his new wife.
Yeah, that shit just looked kind of fixed.
Yeah. She built weird.
If you notice, like, he's going after like that same I don't
trying
know.
to.
Yeah, he's going after that Kim 2.0.
She's definitely not it.
Yeah.
Definitely not it.
But I don't know. I think also too, like, especially like this generation, like I said, there's nobody that sticks out like as like the next GOAT to me, you know. But although, I mean, Bad Bunny has, you know, shown this past year that, you know, he's the king. Honestly, I think he's over Drake right now, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously Drake's had the longevity, but
yeah.
I mean, shit. Even though, like, you look at now, like, even the concerts, like, all these tours, like, even Taylor Swift and, like, Bad Bunny, like, and The Weeknd, you know, I can't forget about
The Weeknd been going crazy.
Like, you see how much, like, they've done. Honestly, I'm surprised Drake didn't do AT&T Stadium, because I think he would have sold out a couple of days there.
So that's bigger than American Airlines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one has, like, 90,000 seats, I think. I'm quite sure. But American Airlines Center, I mean, that's still a big arena, but at the same time, like, man, I feel like to have that effect, like these, like I was saying, like Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, like Abel, like all of them, like they went crazy. Like all their tours, like that shit looked crazy. I mean, even though now it's could be like because of the stage or I don't know, could have been scheduling. I don't know, but I would have loved to see him at AT&T Stadium. I would have felt like that vibe would have been different.
The effects would have been crazy. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's coming up too. He's coming in like 2 weeks, so.
And 2 nights in a row.
Yeah. So it's been a few years since I last seen him, but I definitely want to see him like just one more time.
Go for it.
And then Travis is coming, and then Cardi's coming. Right?
What was the last show that y'all went to?
Last show I went to. Where did that go?
Don Toliver.
What was that?
Lovesick tour. That was back in, I don't even remember. It was a couple months ago at Toyota Music Factory. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Still never been there. I always wanted to go there.
It's a good venue.
Is it a big venue? Is it like Bomb Factory?
It's a nice venue.
It's bigger than Bomb Factory.
Bigger Bomb Factory?
The Pavilion over in Irving?
The Pavilion's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Is that where it was at?
No. Well, where Tame Impala was.
Oh, shit.
That place.
Yeah.
The one, that you snuck in.
That was the greatest show of all time, bro.
My boy went for free?
Nah, like I had actually paid for a ticket, but I think we told the story. We have a podcast that is not coming out because I forgot to press the fucking unmute button on my microphone. And
had some gems on there, man.
We had gems.
Had some bangers.
For real. It was a good podcast. But, you know, this one's going to be great, too. But, nah, so at the time, even now, like, just speaking on Tame, like, I really appreciate him as an artist. Like, that's an artist that I literally probably lived with his music for, like, 2 to 3 years, bro. And I was like, oh, shit, like, you know? And just the evolution of his own sound is fucking incredible, bro. Like, he touches everything. Like, I love watching interviews for artists that I love, you know, just like anybody else does. And so I love watching his interviews, and one of his biggest inspirations was like Led Zeppelin. So it's cool hearing how that inspired his initial bass. And then him going from that in his first 2 albums and then releasing Currents, which is like a fucking dope ass like psychedelic rock album that's like probably regarded as probably the best psychedelic rock album in the last like 20 years, you know?
No skips.
For real. And then even his 4th album, it was pretty fire. Like, it's like you have to be a Tame fan to enjoy it. And even then, as a Tame fan, I think it's like my personal rating is like a 7 to 8, you know? There's some skips in there, but it's a good artistic album, you know?
You think there's skips in there?
Maybe not skips, but like in regards to like replay.
Okay.
Like replay songs that I can go back to and listen to, but I can listen to everything. Like I can go back and listen to like Posthumous Forgiveness or like, you know, it's all really, really good.
Breathe Deeper.
Yeah, Breathe Deeper is fucking amazing.
Beautiful song.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite when that album came out. But back to the Toyota Pavilion, that shit was dope. Like I bought my ticket last minute, but I had bought GA, and like I linked up with like 2 friends. They were up there and shit. But I was like, fuck this shit. And I saw that the Pit was there, and I tried to get tickets for the Pit, but I ended up getting tickets for the bar that was like next to the Pit. So I was like, fuck it. And then just sneaked into my Pit because there was like an old lady who was a security guard, and she had turned around. I was like, fuck it, let me just make my dash in there. But
taking a job too serious.
But nah, that shit was cool, man. It was like the Toyota Pavilion is like amazing. And I remember that concert. It was like one of the most amazing experiences. And I wasn't going to too many shows, but there's certain artists that I had to see live, and that was like one show that I was like, I need to go before this man blows up. Because once it goes to like the American Airlines Center, it's a good experience, but it's a different experience. It's like more of like you're watching a film or a movie. Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, but then like with like a venue like the Pavilion where they have like the fucking like pits and shit almost, it feels like you're so immersed. Like the main point of attraction is like boom, but I guess it's just the display, and maybe it's all in my head. But I wanted to catch them before they went to, because the concert that they did after that was at I think American Airlines.
Yeah,
I didn't go to that one, but
I didn't either. But I heard it was good though.
Yeah,
it was good. Put on a good show, as always. You should listen to them. They
I
hard.
think I have like 1 or 2 songs on my phone. I gotta get to it though.
I think
y'all
you'll
been
like
trying to
it
put
though.
me.
Yeah.
I
I've been
think
trying
you'll
to put
like
me
it.
on for the minute. I need to I need to dig in deeper.
There's a
I'm always open to new music. Yeah.
you'll love Currents. Like Currents is like the perfect album. It's like great, bro.
One of the best albums ever created.
No, I think I've asked y'all about this, but remember they used to have Edge Fest? It was like a big alternative festival.
It's like a rock festival, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I never went to that, but yeah.
For real. My brothers and my cousins, they would always talk about that. And I never been, but I don't know if they ever went away with it, but
Oh shit.
yeah.
I'll be down to go to that.
For
I'll be
real.
down.
But I think they had like a bunch of what was it? I think my brother, like when I was real young, when he was like first moved out to Cali, like he took me to like 9 Inch Nails, like I think, and
Oh,
I did,
shit.
yeah, and I didn't know who like that was, but like obviously looking back on it, I wish I would have appreciated it more, but I knew like he was like, come with me to this concert, and obviously I never listened to them, but
That's fucking hardcore.
I remember like the Edge Fest used to have like a lineup, and I remember like it'd be like Deftones and like a bunch of other like
Deftones
groups,
go
you know?
so hard, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I never was like too huge onto that, but my brothers were, but so like I kind of would catch on to it a little
Yeah.
bit, but
Yeah.
so that was like one of the like GOAT festivals I think back then, but I'm sure a lot of people appreciated it. But
Yeah.
did they ever do away with like jambalaya and stuff, or is that
I
still
was
a thing?
about to ask.
They still.
They still doing it?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they never came back with it. I don't know.
Actually,
I never went.
no.
I never actually went to it.
I take that back. I don't think they're doing it.
Cause I think during COVID, I don't know if it's because of COVID, but I remember when that COVID all happened, like a bunch of festivals were getting shut down completely.
Mhm.
I know Flog Gnaw just like released their lineup again.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Flog Gnaw back in 19, I think when Drake got booed, remember? They wanted Frank.
Shit.
That's the last time I saw Drake.
Oh,
That shit-
dang.
that
You
shit
went to
was-
Flogna?
Yeah, I went at the time,
That's
you know.
tight, that's
Yeah,
tight,
at
that's
the time
tight.
I had went, but I went with, you know, the group of people I went back then. But honestly, I had just went because it was a Cali trip in the whole. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. Just seeing like the artists that came out. I think it was like Rocky. It was the last night, so it was like a bunch of special guests. So it was like Rocky, Uzi, and then Drake came out, and I was like totally like befuddled. I was like, bro, I don't, because I had missed him here like when it was like 2018 or 2019. I forgot. It was like 2018. I think it was last year, and I tried to catch him here, but my grandma was sick at the time, so I didn't get to go. So like now I had saw him just like he played like some bangers. He played like what was it? Some songs from Scorpion. He played Feel No Ways, you know, Wu
I
Tang
remember
Forever.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and then at that festival they were expecting Frank. And then I'm like, bro, and then Drake came out and they just booed him completely, and I was like, bro.
The disrespect.
You know what's crazy?
And that's why I really have problems with people like just because
Yeah.
it's like, bro, like appreciate even greatness. Like obviously, like you don't get to see somebody like
Right.
Facts.
like how they did him at Coachella. Look
That's
how
what
Frank,
I'm saying. Yeah.
like how Frank did them at Coachella. That's what they
BS
get.
performance.
Because you boo
yeah.
Drake and now you get an awful performance.
Yeah.
That goes for anybody who sees it. Ruined my experience, and I'm playing. But yeah, it's crazy. Like festivals, I think eventually I would love to go to Coachella just to say like I went.
Just to see how it is, yeah.
You'd go? Would you go to Coachella?
I would go.
You really?
I would go. Mm-hmm.
It's expensive. It's a bag. I've seen people like spend all that money on there. I'm like, bro, how? But
I wanted to go to Astrofest, but then people started dying. and
yes,
shit.
I was trying to go to Astrofest. Obviously, like before we knew what was gonna happen, but
I don't know if whenever the time comes for the Dallas shows, I might get some pit like last minute.
I'll be there.
We'll see,
I'm
we'll
going
see,
for
we'll see.
sure. So I want to
Tickets
join
gonna sell tomorrow.
tomorrow. I think.
Yeah,
so
tomorrow. I'm still debating on if I want to go.
that's the thing though, like because
American Airlines is like
Nah, it's all good though. Cause
it's all right.
It's a once in a lifetime thing. You gotta understand. Like you never know when these people are gonna stop doing tours. So
Because I went to the Astro World tour and he came. By the way, that was my first concert ever going to.
he came to Dallas,
Really?
right? He
Yep.
was at
Astro
American
World?
Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
First show I ever been to.
How old were you?
I'm 26 now. So 18? Something like that. Yeah. But it was good. I went with a couple of friends. They convinced me to go, and I really enjoyed it. The mosh pit was crazy.
Oh, you said Astro World? It was the Astro World tour?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're probably like 20.
20? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting it mixed up. But yeah, it was a good show, though. It was a good show.
I wish I would have went to the Life of Pablo tour. That was like
Mm.
one tour I think I regret missing.
Yeah.
I've never
I think that was the
been to
last one he
Kanye.
did, right? Was it? Was the Life of Pablo or was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he didn't do a Donda
So
tour,
it's been
did he?
2016 since he
Yeah.
last did a tour, right?
Yeah.
Damn. See, you never know. What if Travis decides to hang it up too? No, I'm just playing.
I don't think he is.
I don't
though.
know.
No. Because he
But-
trying to do a tour with Kanye.
Yeah.
But
That'd be crazy.
it would
If they
be.
did a collab album, that'd be fucking wild, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I heard Bad Bunny and Drake gonna do a collab album. I don't know if that's true, but they
What?
leaked
What?
it. They leaked it
What?
at one of the concerts. I think it was at the LA concert. It was Bad Bunny came on stage and he announced that he was gonna do a collab album. So Drake and Bad Bunny, if that shit happens, the world gonna go crazy for that shit. You know.
Apple Music gonna crash that night.
They said it crashed for Utopia. Is that true?
It did.
I wasn't.
I was trying to download it and the songs wasn't popping up, so I kept refreshing. I even turned off my phone, and it was still acting up.
Fucking iPhone on 450 break, bro. That should be bugging.
It do.
But I mean, that's crazy. That's another thing too. Is that like how much like the fan base, like how much, like how loyal Travis's fans are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously, you know, it's unfortunate what happened at Astrofest. I mean, my buddy invited me to go that night, but I didn't get to go, and I like, cause I knew Drake was gonna be there. I had a feeling. I was like, man, if I hear Sicko Mode, man, shit gonna go crazy. But I ended up missing out, and then he said it was an unfortunate event, and obviously what ended up unfolding. But
That was a wild time.
did you go to that one?
Mm-mm.
You didn't go?
But I heard about it and what everything was going on with it, but that was crazy.
Who was to blame for that though?
Me personally, I'm not gonna say it was Trav.
Nah.
Nah.
It's like if you ever been to a Travis show, you know what to expect. And I feel like a lot of those people were new, so they didn't know what to expect.
It's like a rock show.
Like,
Those things get riled.
yeah,
Like really
fucking
rowdy,
wild.
you know, so
It's a war.
because Travis out there performing, he can't hear, you know, like he out there doing his thing. So I don't think it was his fault though.
I don't think it was anybody's fault. Nobody's intention is to, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, to injure anybody, but I don't know. I think he just, the backlash he got, I mean, just happened to be because it was his concert. Damn.
They tried to cancel him, man.
That's another thing too, is
For
that
real.
like, I mean, for us, we probably like still enjoyed, you know, doing pits, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it's the way, like, especially like the newer generation, like the younger generation, like I feel like they didn't have that at, like between, I think, what was it 2016 to like 2018, is that like those Uzi shows, those, you know, like early Cardi shows, like all that era, like concerts and stuff, like that was unmatched, bro.
Cardi's Neon Tour. I forgot what year that was. That was crazy. That was at Southside Ballroom. So we was all just like this. But it was crazy. Like, I fell a couple of times. It was crazy.
That's wild how small like the venues the artists start showing up at, like when they first blow up. Like Bad Bunny was at Far West, and then he was at Garland.
He was at Far West.
Yeah, that's
That's
who's somebody
fucking
told me that. Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. So I think he was at Far West, and then
The globe is real.
yeah. So now he's selling out shows AT&T like
Dang.
2 days in a row. No, I think it was one day, but that's
Still,
wild.
Yeah.
And then who was it? I remember seeing Thug and 21 at Bomb Factory.
Bomb Factories is
Bomb
the place.
Factory.
Tyler was there a
Yeah.
few times.
Yeah, Bomb Factory's had some legends walk in that building, man. That was like early high school days, and like just, I remember you used to get like a ticket for like $30-$40 and just storm the pit, man.
Hell yeah.
Just feels like a wave pool when you're in that damn pit.
Mhm.
Nah,
It's crazy what y'all mentioned earlier in the podcast about how like people use their phone, and I remember at Bomb Factory very vividly. Both times I've gone to Tyler's show, he's always like, "Turn your fucking phones off and enjoy the show." And then everybody turns their phones off and enjoys the show, you know. But yeah, hell yeah. I'll always get some videos, but then I'll get like a few, maybe like 5 to 6 clips, put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
And enjoy that hell.
Cause it's like everybody's waiting to just post about it later, you know, just to see like, hey, look what I saw, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. It's okay to capture some things.
I'm one of those people. So.
Nah,
It's
I'm like
cool to
that. I'm
capture
like
those
that
moments,
too.
yeah.
Like at Drake, man. Like man, I gotta record some shit. I might honestly tell one of my homeboys, I'm like, hey, yo, just record this shit for me, bro.
Got to.
Nah, yeah, but then that's another thing too. Is that I think it's important to appreciate like the performers too. Like I saw Rao like real recently, and like honestly, like him and Bad Bunny are like 2 really great performers. Honestly, I don't know who's better. Honestly, because and he was at Dickies Arena, Fort Worth, and Bad Bunny was. I mean, he did American Airlines and AT&T, and both concerts were lit. But Rao just. I definitely appreciate like when I go to concerts and I see a great performer. It's just that's.
Yeah, for real. A great performance like means everything.
Facts.
Even like I think my folks, they went to go see Maluma, I think like last year, 2 years ago, and they were like, man, he just didn't perform great at all, and he had a big arena. He was at American Airlines. That's why.
I would have been mad.
For real.
Some artists just don't have great performances. Some are just better artists than performers.
Facts.
No type of effects, visuals, nothing. Just whatever.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That brings up to, I guess, to wrap up the show, but like, what is something that y'all hope to see from music? Like, what are y'all looking towards in the sense of genres, in the sense of sound? I'll kick it off, and on this one of the things that I'm like looking forward to is more Lil Yachty type shit. In the sense of like, I want to see like other artists within like rap, hip hop, all that good stuff, venture out into other genres. Like he ventured out into indie rock, psychedelic rock realm, and it sounded great.
Great album.
Like more like everybody being more versatile.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah.
Just try it.
Just try new shit, you know. Stop trying to do the same recipe and shit. And some people just can't get away from it because that's their flow, you know.
Yeah.
That's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
But other people are like artists, and like they have a deeper artistry, and they're able to share different sounds, you know, which is fucking crazy, bro. But yeah, me personally, I've been into like rock heavy right now. You know, I've been into that shit for a few years. Like that scene, I personally love that scene because there's just so much different type of like rock and like punk and all that shit, right? Like there's like slower shit, hardcore shit, there's all kinds of shit. And I hope to see like rap evolve into that. And you're kind of seeing it. Like me personally, I enjoyed also Uzi's album. I enjoyed like the rock takes that he had on that album. I enjoyed the sound. Like it was a great album. I enjoyed it. But yeah. Aside from that, fucking house music. Hopefully people keep releasing house music, which they will.
Fire.
For real.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see like more collab albums happen.
I was gonna say that too.
It's like collab albums,
Yeah.
man. Like I know we were touching on like what we want to see, but like this is definitely the truth. Like you want to like see, like honestly, I never assumed Drake and 21 would ever do a collab album.
That shit was fire, yeah.
But it was a hit. It was a banger.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see like more like collabs happen. Like you appreciate like, like you're saying Drake, Bad Bunny, like Wizkid, and I think Wizkid, I think Drake and Thames, like you want to see like different, styles and stuff. And
Baby Keem Kendrick.
The Hillbillies.
that one's coming out. I feel like that album's just bound to happen.
Yeah. They have really good flow.
Mm-hmm.
The chemistry too, like Drake and Future, like What a Time to Be Alive, like that.
What a Time to Be Alive is a classic album.
That shit's unmatched, bro. From the cover to the
Everything.
to the last track, that shit was hard.
That shit was a vibe, bro.
But
I was 18 at the hookah bar.
That was a good year. That was a good year. Thinking back.
Facts. 2015, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that was a fucking year, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Shit, well, thank you guys for joining us on this new episode of Unmastered, our first live episode.
Yes.
We got more to come, honestly.
Yes, sir.
Facts. We want to keep doing these. We're going to keep doing these live versions. We appreciate you guys for listening. Because it's crazy. We're not, we're growing little by little and stuff. And it's crazy to see, like, every week, like, even though podcasts have been out, 10 new listens, 15 new listens, 20 new listens every week. But it's just cool to have something going. And for me personally, I've always wanted to be I like having just various forms of artistic expression.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just talking sometimes and good conversation is a form of artistic expression, But no, it's cool. Appreciate you guys coming on the journey.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
This was fun.
Hell yeah.
More guests on the way.
Mm.
Stay tuned.
Facts.
Got a list.
Episode 10, Unmastered. How far will you go? Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Preach.